Imagine, you are standing at the edge of a silent cliff, where the vast ocean stretches endlessly before you, and above, a sky scattered with a million shimmering stars. The air is cool, carrying the soft scent of salt water and the faint hum of waves caressing the shore. In this moment, you are neither bound by time nor gravity, you are simply present, breathing in harmony with the universe itself. Somewhere in the distance, a soft voice begins to speak, calm, deliberate, and warm, guiding you into a story where science and serenity merge. You will travel beyond the surface of the sea, descending into its quiet blue depths, where bioluminescent creatures drift like tiny constellations underwater. Then, with a gentle shift, you will rise above, gliding silently through the night sky, weaving between constellations as if you are part of the cosmos. Every sound you hear, every image you imagine, will be designed to quiet your thoughts and slow your heartbeat. With each chapter, you'll drift deeper, from ocean floor to starlit space, until sleep softly takes over, like waves pulling you into their gentle embrace. Tonight, you are both the explorer and the dreamer. And your journey begins, now. Via Láctea Ola. The edge of silence. Via Láctea Ola. The night was still, as if the entire world had paused just for you. You stood at the edge of a high cliff, where the deep ocean below whispered in soft, rhythmic sighs. Each wave rolled in with a hush, then slipped away, leaving only the faint sound of water meeting stone. Above you, the stars glittered, scattered like diamonds across an infinite velvet sky. The air carried a gentle coolness, brushing against your skin like a slow, soothing breath. With every inhale, you felt the salt-kissed freshness of the sea filling your lungs, and with every exhale, your body released the weight of the day. The horizon was a perfect blend of deep indigo and silver, where sky and ocean met in a seamless embrace. Far in the distance, a faint glimmer moved along the water's surface, not a ship, not a reflection, but something unknown, drifting gracefully. The sound of your heartbeat slowed as the world around you seemed to dissolve into pure calm. In this space, there was no rush, no noise, no demands, only the quiet conversation between the sea below and the stars above. You took one deep, steady breath, and stepped forward into the story. Descent into the blue Ola de Estrellas. You begin to walk down a narrow, winding path carved into the side of the cliff, each step slow and deliberate. The soft crunch of pebbles beneath your feet blends with the ocean's distant hum. The deeper you go, the more the night air changes, becoming cooler, heavier with the scent of salt and the faint aroma of damp stone. Somewhere far below, waves continue their endless dance against the cliffside, steady and unhurried. As you reach the base, a small, hidden cove reveals itself. Here, the water glows faintly under the touch of moonlight, like liquid glass infused with silver. You step closer, and the sound of the world fades to almost nothing. It's as if the ocean is waiting, patient, ancient, and knowing. A small wooden pier stretches out into the water, barely wide enough for 2 footsteps side by side. You step onto it, the boards creaking softly under your weight. At the edge, you kneel down, letting your fingertips skim the surface. The water is cool, silk-like, and you notice faint trails of blue light swirl around your touch, tiny bioluminescent plankton awakening in your presence. Without hesitation, you slip into the water. The ocean embraces you instantly, wrapping you in a cool calmness. Your movements are slow, graceful, as if the water itself is guiding you downward. Sunlight cannot reach here, only the moon above, and the glow of unseen life below. The deeper you descend, the more the world transforms. Shapes begin to emerge, glowing creatures drifting lazily, their lights pulsing in soft rhythms. Schools of silver fish move as one, creating living ribbons in the dark. Your body feels lighter, your thoughts quieter, and for the first time, you sense that this descent is not simply into the ocean, but into a deeper part of yourself. Somewhere ahead, a faint golden light flickers. It waits for you, like a silent invitation to go deeper. And you follow. The golden path o la Via Láctea. The golden flicker ahead grows stronger with each gentle stroke you take. It's not harsh or blinding, it glows softly, like sunlight trapped in a drop of honey, suspended in the endless blue. The water around it feels warmer, smoother, as though the light carries its own gentle current, drawing you closer. As you swim nearer, the source becomes clear, a cluster of strange, glass-like orbs, each about the size of your hand, anchored to a single, ancient piece of coral. Inside each orb, delicate tendrils sway, releasing tiny sparks of golden light into the water. These sparks drift upward like slow-motion fireflies, disappearing into the darkness above. You pause, hovering in the water, simply watching. The coral itself seems impossibly old, its surface shaped by centuries of quiet growth, a living sculpture crafted by the patient hands of time. As you reach out, your fingers barely brush the coral, and suddenly, the golden orbs react. Their glow pulses in unison, forming a wave of light that spreads outward in perfect harmony. In that instant, something remarkable happens, the water around you begins to hum. It's not a sound you hear with your ears, but one you feel deep in your chest, as though the ocean is speaking in a language beyond words. The hum vibrates through your bones, slow and steady, each pulse timed with your heartbeat. You close your eyes. The golden light dances behind your eyelids, and in the darkness of your mind, you see shapes, constellations, spirals, distant galaxies, as if the ocean is showing you that it, too, remembers the stars. When you open your eyes, a narrow tunnel of light stretches ahead, leading deeper into the abyss. It is neither frightening nor strange. It feels like an invitation. A quiet promise that what lies ahead is meant for you, and you alone. And so, you follow the golden path into the unknown. The tunnel beneath the waves o la Destellos. The golden path narrows as you approach the mouth of the tunnel. It rises from the ocean floor like the entrance to an ancient cathedral, carved not by human hands, but by the steady persistence of the sea. Pillars of coral flank each side, draped with swaying strands of seaweed that shimmer faintly, as if they too have absorbed the golden glow. You hover at the threshold for a moment, feeling the water grow warmer still. The hum from before continues, slow and rhythmic, like the ocean's own heartbeat guiding you forward. You take a deep, deliberate breath, letting the sensation of weightlessness settle fully into your body, and then you glide inside. The tunnel is narrow at first, its walls curving around you like the inside of a shell. Shafts of golden light weave across your path, falling through gaps in the coral above. As you move deeper, the walls begin to widen, and the tunnel transforms into a vast chamber. Here, the water is thick with bioluminescence, tiny specks of light drift in the currents, surrounding you in a slow-moving galaxy. A soft current tugs at you, encouraging you to keep going. You notice small creatures you've never seen before, translucent jelly-like beings that pulse with gentle colors, their movements so calm and deliberate they seem to float between seconds. Schools of fish shimmer past, their bodies catching the light in quick silver flashes before fading back into shadow. In the center of the chamber stands a large, spiral-shaped rock formation. Its surface is covered with intricate patterns, like the etched lines of a forgotten language. As you swim closer, you run your hand along the grooves, and the patterns respond, glowing faintly, then stronger, until the entire spiral pulses with golden light. A low, resonant vibration fills the chamber, so deep it feels like the water itself is singing. The sound moves through you, quieting every thought, until all you feel is peace, and a growing curiosity about what lies beyond the next bend of this golden-lit tunnel. You push forward, deeper still. The chamber of stillness Via Láctea ola. The golden tunnel gradually widens until you emerge into a vast, enclosed space, so still that the water here feels almost solid, as if time itself has slowed to match the gentle rhythm of your heartbeat. The chamber is dome-shaped, with walls of coral that curve upward like the inside of a great cathedral, their surface shimmering faintly in the filtered light. Every detail is soft, muted, and deliberate, as though this place has been waiting for centuries without being disturbed. At the very center of the chamber rests a flat, smooth stone platform, large enough for you to lie upon. It seems impossibly polished for something that has lived at the bottom of the sea for so long. You drift toward it, the current barely brushing against you, carrying with it a warm, mineral scent, clean, airy, and deeply calming. As you approach the platform, you notice faint lines etched into its surface, swirling patterns that resemble both ocean waves and the spirals of distant galaxies. You rest your hand against the stone, and a wave of quiet warmth radiates through you, starting from your fingertips and flowing into your chest. The warmth is not just physical, it feels as though the stone is listening to you, recognizing your presence, and in return, offering you a deep, silent welcome. You slowly settle onto the platform, feeling its solid presence beneath you while the water cradles your body. Your limbs grow weightless, your mind even lighter. The golden glow around you softens, dimming until it feels like twilight under the sea. In this dim light, small particles drift lazily by, their slow motion hypnotic, guiding your thoughts into stillness. The hum from before returns, low, resonant, and steady. It no longer feels like sound, it feels like breathing, but on a cosmic scale. Every pulse seems to stretch through the water, past the coral walls, and out into the infinite ocean beyond. And as you breathe with it, you begin to sense something extraordinary, at the ocean, the stars, and even your own heartbeat are all part of the same quiet rhythm. You close your eyes, letting this shared pulse carry you deeper into the calm, knowing that when you open them again, you will see something even more wondrous waiting ahead. The whispering current o la destellos. You lie upon the smooth stone, eyes half closed, suspended between waking and sleep. The water is so still it feels like the world has stopped, and then, almost imperceptibly, a gentle current begins to move around you. It circles the chamber in a slow spiral, brushing softly against your skin, carrying with it a faint warmth, as though it has traveled from some sunlit place far away. The current is not random. You can feel its intention, a slow, deliberate pattern, curling around your hands, flowing across your chest, then drifting away toward your feet. With every pass, your body releases more tension, and your mind sinks further into calm. It feels less like water and more like a presence, something alive, watching over you, speaking in a language made only of movement and sensation. As it swirls around the chamber, the light changes. The golden glow deepens into a rich amber, as though the entire space has been lit by a hidden fire beneath the sea. In that soft light, shadows dance across the coral walls, forming shapes that seem to tell a story, vast waves rising, stars falling into the ocean, and a spiral that leads both downward and upward at the same time. You realize the current is guiding you toward that spiral, not physically, but within your thoughts. Each loop of water feels like it's unraveling a thread in your mind, loosening knots you didn't know were there. A feeling of gentle clarity emerges, like the first hint of dawn on the horizon. The hum you've been hearing changes, growing softer yet somehow closer. This theme, it carries with it something new, a whisper. Not in words, but in tones so delicate they feel like a memory from long ago, a memory you can't quite place. You know, instinctively, that if you follow the current, it will lead you to its source. The water swirls once more, then gently lifts you from the stone. Without effort, you rise, drifting toward the far side of the chamber, where a narrow archway waits. Beyond it, a deeper blue glimmers, and the whisper calls again. And you follow. The blue cathedral o la Via Láctea. You pass through the narrow archway, and at once the water changes, cooler, lighter, carrying the faint taste of minerals, as though it has filtered through stone untouched for thousands of years. The soft whispering current guides you forward, and the space before you begins to widen, revealing a place so vast and silent it takes your breath away. The chamber is enormous, its ceiling vanishing into shadow above, supported by towering coral columns that rise like the pillars of an ancient temple. Each one glows faintly with shifting blues and silvers, as if the very skeleton of the reef has absorbed moonlight for centuries. Schools of tiny silver fish drift lazily between the columns, moving in patterns so precise they resemble constellations in the night sky. The floor of this underwater cathedral is blanketed in pale sand, perfectly undisturbed, save for the gentle ripples left by the currents passing. Between the columns, patches of soft seagrass sway in perfect harmony, each blade moving as if in time with an unseen rhythm. Every sound here is muffled, muted, as though the water itself is holding its breath in reverence. At the far end of the cathedral, your eyes are drawn to something remarkable, a great, circular opening in the floor, surrounded by a ring of smooth, white stones. From it rises a faint blue glow, brighter than the golden light you followed before, its hue cool and deep like the heart of a sapphire. The current swirls slowly around the opening, as if presenting it to you, encouraging you to come closer. You drift toward it, feeling the water grow cooler with every meter. The blue glow spills upward in soft waves, painting your skin and the coral columns in shifting light. As you hover above the opening, you peer down into its depths, and see nothing but infinite blue, a vertical path that seems to stretch forever downward. The whisper returns, clearer now, a soft tone that trembles in your chest. It is not a warning, not a command, it is an invitation. One that promises that if you dive into this blue light, you will discover a place even the ocean rarely reveals. You take a long, slow breath, and prepare to descend. They descend into sapphire light o la corazón azul. You hover above the great circular opening, the sapphire glow rising around you like a living mist. The water here is perfectly still, yet it feels charged, as if the ocean is quietly holding its breath. You take one last glance at the grand pillars of the blue cathedral, their faint shimmer watching you in silence, before you let the current take you downward. The moment you pass through the ring of white stones, the light wraps around you, gentle and cool. The blue deepens with every meter, shifting from pale aquamarine to rich indigo, then into a shade so deep it feels almost like velvet. Teeny particles drift in the water, each one glowing faintly, like slow-moving stars suspended in liquid night. Your movements slow without effort. It feels as though the light itself is carrying you, lowering you deeper and deeper without the need for swimming. You have no sense of time here. Seconds dissolve into minutes, minutes into something softer, quieter, a stretch of stillness that exists only in dreams. The hum you have been hearing since the golden coral now changes, becoming a series of long, deep tones that seem to vibrate through the water and into your bones. Each tone lingers for a moment before fading, like the tolling of a distant bell underwater. With every sound, the blue around you brightens slightly, revealing fleeting shapes, an archway of coral, a shadow that drifts just out of sight, the faint outline of something vast moving far below. The water grows cooler still, but never uncomfortably so. It feels refreshing, almost cleansing, as though each breath you take is washing away another layer of weight you didn't know you carried. You realize that your thoughts have thinned to the barest whisper, only the rhythm of your breathing, the glow of the blue, and the soft call from somewhere far beneath you remain. At last, the endless descent begins to slow. The glow beneath your feet gathers into a soft, rippling floor of light. And there, ahead of you, shapes begin to emerge. The hidden world beneath all estrellas dando vueltas. Your feet touch the soft, rippling floor of light, and it feels unlike anything you've ever known, not sand, not stone, but something alive. The glow pulses gently under your toes, warm and welcoming, as if sensing your arrival. For a moment, you simply stand there, letting the light soak into you, filling you with a deep, steady calm. Then, as though responding to your presence, the floor begins to shift. The glowing surface folds and bends, parting silently like curtains drawn aside. Beneath it lies an opening, wide and perfectly round, leading not into darkness, but into a breathtaking expanse of shimmering turquoise. You step forward, and the light carries you down once more, lowering you into a world that feels untouched by time. Here, the water is so clear it's almost invisible, and the light is everywhere, streaming from the walls, the floor, even the creatures that drift by. Strange plants sway gently, their leaves thin and translucent, releasing soft clouds of glowing dust into the currents. Large, slow-moving fish pass overhead, their scales reflecting colors you've never seen on the surface, hues that seem to shift with every heartbeat. The landscape stretches out like a submerged meadow, dotted with clusters of luminous coral and tall, spiraled shells that hum faintly when the water moves through them. In the distance, you see what looks like a great archway formed entirely of crystal, its surface refracting the light into delicate rainbows that ripple across the sea floor. The whispering current is here, though, stronger now, curling gently around your arms and guiding you toward that crystalline arch. The hum in your chest grows louder, not in a way that startles you, but in a way that feels almost like anticipation. Something waits beyond that arch, something this place has been leading you toward since the moment you first stepped off the cliff. You take a slow breath, your movements weightless, and follow the current toward the shimmering gateway. The crystal gateway o la destellos. The crystalline arch towers before you, larger and more intricate than it first appeared. Up close, you can see that it is not made from a single piece of crystal, but from thousands of delicate shards, each one a slightly different hue of blue, green, and silver. They catch the ambient glow of the hidden world, refracting it into thin ribbons of light that swirl slowly through the water like drifting silk. The current becomes more focused here, a soft yet undeniable pull guiding you forward. As you pass beneath the arch, the sound around you changes. The hum you have carried within your chest all this time resonates with the crystal itself, and the arch begins to sing. It is a sound so pure and gentle that it feels like it is unraveling something inside you, loosening old knots, melting away tensions you had forgotten were there. Beyond the arch, the seabed drops away into a vast open expanse. Here, the water seems Wattlis, illuminated by floating spheres of light suspended in mid-water. They range in size from small pearls to glowing orbs as large as your head, and they drift without pattern, turning slowly as if observing you. Their glow is soft, almost breathing, brightening slightly when you draw near, dimming when you drift away. You notice now that the current has vanished. The water here is perfectly still, and you are left floating in a silence so deep you can hear the faint rhythm of your own heartbeat. The orbs begin to gather, forming a slow spiral around you. They circle lazily, their soft light overlapping until you are wrapped in a cocoon of blue and silver. Then, in perfect unison, the orbs pulse. The light expands outward, filling the space with a shimmering wave that passes through you like a warm breeze. You close your eyes and feel it, not just around you, but inside you, a quiet, wordless message of welcome. When you open your eyes again, the spiral of orbs has formed a clear path ahead. At the end of that path, far in the distance, you see something glowing brighter than anything you have yet encountered, and you know your journey has only just begun. The corridor of floating lights Via Lactea Ola. You drift forward, following the slow spiral of orbs as they part, revealing a corridor that seems suspended in nothingness. The water here feels different, lighter, almost airy, and the silence is so complete that it's as though the entire ocean has stepped back, letting this place exist untouched. The orbs line the path ahead, each one pulsing softly in rhythm, guiding you forward. As you pass them, you notice faint images flickering within their glowing shells. In one, a scene of moonlight dancing on the waves, in another, the swirling clouds of a far-off galaxy. Others hold stranger visions, a single drop of water rippling outward forever, the spiral of a seashell unfolding into a starfield, the flash of a comet vanishing into darkness. You feel no fear, only an expanding curiosity. The path feels endless, yet your movements are effortless, each gentle push carrying you deeper into this dreamlike passage. The hum that has followed you since the golden coral is still here, woven now into the faint tones the orbs emit when you pass by, teeny, bell-like notes that chime softly in the water, fading into silence behind you. The further you go, the brighter the far-off glow becomes. It no longer feels like just a light, it feels like a presence. Warm, ancient, patient. The kind of presence that has been here long before you arrived, and will remain long after you leave. Gradually, the corridor widens, and you see that the orbs are no longer floating alone, they are joined by strands of crystal-like filaments stretching between them, like constellations connected by glowing threads. They form shapes that are both familiar and alien, patterns that feel like they might hold some deep meaning if you could only understand their language. At last, the corridor opens into a vast, circular chamber. The glow ahead is almost blinding now, though still gentle, the kind of brightness that warms rather than burns. You pause at the threshold, suspended between the stillness behind you and the luminous mystery ahead. The whisper returns, clearer than ever, yet still without words. It is not telling you what to do, only reminding you that you already know. And so, with one slow, steady breath, you cross into the light. The heart of the luminous chamber o la diamante. The light envelopes you the moment you cross the threshold, warm and soft, seeping into every corner of your being. It is not blinding, but vast, so vast that you feel you could drift forever within it and never reach its edges. Slowly, the glow begins to soften, shapes emerging from the brightness like memories surfacing from a dream. You find yourself in the center of a circular chamber, far larger than the blue cathedral. The walls are smooth and curved, made of a material that looks like both crystal and water at once, transparent yet shimmering, as though the surface itself is alive. Faint streams of light run along its surface, moving like veins beneath translucent skin, pulsing in gentle, rhythmic patterns. Above you, the ceiling arches high into the water, disappearing into soft gold and sapphire tones. Drifting across it are countless small lights, not solid orbs like before, but tiny living sparks, each one darting gracefully like a firefly in slow motion. Their movements are hypnotic, weaving intricate patterns that fade as soon as they are made. At the very center of the chamber, resting on a circular dais, is a single, massive sphere of light. Unlike the others, this one is not entirely smooth, faint lines spiral across its surface, meeting at a single point at the top, like a map whose meaning has been lost to time. Its glow is steady, deep, and welcoming, radiating warmth that you can feel even from where you hover. As you approach, the hum within your chest synchronizes with the spirit's gentle pulse. The rhythm is neither fast nor slow, it is perfect, the exact pace of calm. You feel the last fragments of tension dissolve from your body, as though this light is not only illuminating the chamber, but also every shadow within yourself. Without quite meaning to, you reach out. The water between your fingers and the sphere seems to vanish, and your touch meets its surface, warm, smooth, and humming softly, like a heartbeat you have known all along. And then, in the moment your skin makes contact, the entire chamber responds. The walls shimmer brighter, the tiny sparks above swirl into a spiral, and the hum becomes music, low, resonant tones that wrap around you like a tide. You are no longer simply visiting this place. You are a part of it now. The memory within the light Via Láctea Ola. The instant your hand rests upon the luminous sphere, the water around you seems to pause. The slow drifting sparks above freeze mid-motion, the hum deepens, and the entire chamber becomes still, as though the ocean itself is holding its breath. The spirit's glow swells gently, and the spiraling lines upon its surface begin to shift. They unwind like ribbons, curling outward into the water, forming shapes that drift toward you. At first, they are only shimmering threads, but then, slowly, they begin to weave images, not of the ocean, but of places and moments you may never seen, yet somehow recognize. You see a night sky untouched by city lights, where stars blaze in numbers too great to count. A forest of towering kelp sways in silence, each frond releasing tiny silver bubbles that float endlessly upward. Vast ice shelves glitter under a pale sun, their undersides alive with glowing creatures that vanish into the deep. And then, you see something more intimate, a single drop of water falling into a perfectly still pool. The ripples spread outward, crossing the surface until they touch every edge. You realize this is no ordinary memory. It is a message, a truth too simple and too deep to be spoken in words. At every action, every breath, every thought moves through the whole, just as every current eventually touches every shore. The images shift again, faster now, and you are shown visions that seem both ancient and eternal, a meteor falling into the sea, an island rising from the depths, the first coral branch reaching toward the light. These are the ocean's memories, and now, they are yours. As the final vision fades, the spirit's spiraling lines return to their original place, curling back inward like a closed shell. The light dims slightly, returning to its calm, steady pulse. The chamber exhales, the sparks above drift once more, and the hum softens into silence. You realize you are still touching the sphere, but now, it feels different. Warmer. Familiar. Almost alive. The whispering current returns, curling around you in a slow embrace, guiding you toward a new opening in the far wall of the chamber. The way forward glows faintly, promising another secret. And you follow. The passage of slow tides o la Vía Láctea. You drift toward the opening, the luminous chamber fading softly behind you. The arch is lower here, its edges lined with delicate fans of coral that sway ever so slightly, though no visible current moves through them. As you pass beneath, the water grows cooler, and the light takes on a softer hue, no longer golden or sapphire, but a muted, pearlescent glow, as if the ocean has lowered its voice to a whisper. The passage stretches far ahead, a winding corridor carved by time and tide. The walls are smooth in places, ridged in others, their surfaces patterned with faint spirals and wave-like etchings, as though the sea itself has left its handwriting here. You trail your fingers along the rock, feeling the faint vibrations that run through it, not a hum this time, but a slow, steady pulse, like the heartbeat of the ocean floor. The water in this passage moves differently. It flows not in one direction, but in slow, alternating swells, as if the tide itself is breathing here. Each gentle push carries you forward, each pull draws you deeper into the stillness. Your body begins to match its rhythm, a slow drift forward, a soft pause, another slow drift, another pause, until you lose all sense of your own movement and feel as though the sea is carrying you without effort. In the dim pearlescent glow, you begin to notice shapes moving in the walls. At first, you think they are shadows, but then they shift and reveal themselves as small, translucent creatures, their bodies like flowing ribbons, each trailing a faint silver light. They glide in and out of narrow crevices, weaving gracefully, never hurrying, never colliding. Some may drift close enough for you to see their delicate, glass-like fins quiver with each movement. The airless quiet here is absolute. No distant echoes of the upper ocean remain, only the soft swirl of water and the faint, slow shimmer of life around you. Up ahead, the passage curves, and with the turn comes a faint sound, so soft that it almost blends with your own breath. It is not the hum from before, but something lighter, like the first few notes of a song carried on the tide. And as you move toward it, the glow ahead begins to shift again, deepening into a color you have not yet seen on this journey. The song in the deep varias notas musicales sola. The passage bends, and with each gentle turn, the strange sound grows clearer. It is not quite music, not quite a voice, but something between the two. A liquid melody, shaped by the water itself, rises and falls in long, slow waves. The notes are drawn out, almost infinite, as though they have been echoing here for centuries, waiting for you to arrive. The pearlescent glow that has guided you begins to deepen into a shade unlike any you've seen, a soft, living violet, with threads of silver weaving through it like strands of moonlight caught in motion. The color pulses in time with the song, each note sending ripples of light along the walls. It is as if the music is painting the water around you. You follow the current around the final curve of the passage, and there, the space opens into a vast underwater chamber. It is not empty, far from it. Suspended in the center, just above the ocean floor, is a great, circular bloom of sea anemones, their tendrils swaying in perfect rhythm with the music. Each tendril glows faintly, and together they form a living, breathing instrument, an organic harp, played by the slow movement of the tide. As the song continues, you realize it is more than sound. You feel it resonating inside you, threading itself through your breath, your heartbeat, your thoughts. The melody is not just heard, it is felt, wrapping around the mind in soft, spiraling patterns. It speaks without words, telling of ancient waters, of migrations that span lifetimes, of the endless dance between moon and sea. The creatures you saw in the passage, the ribbon-like drifters, now circle the bloom in slow, deliberate arcs, adding their own faint shimmer to the scene. Some brush gently against the anemone tendrils, sending new notes into the water, each one like a drop of light falling into a still pool. Your body feels impossibly light here, as though the water itself has learned to hold you in place. You are not drifting anymore. You are suspended, anchored by the sound, as if the music has woven invisible threads that keep you still. The violet light grows warmer, the silver threads brighter, and somewhere deep within the melody, you sense an invitation. Not to move forward. Not to leave. But to simply be. And so you close your eyes. Merging with the son o la corazón morado varias notas musicales. You let your eyelids drift shut, and at once the violet light does not vanish, it blooms inside you. It begins as a soft haze behind your eyes, then expands, filling every corner of your awareness. The silver threads of light you saw moments ago are now weaving themselves through your thoughts, stitching them together into a single, steady rhythm that matches the music. The song no longer feels like it's coming from the chamber. It is within you now, rising and falling with your breath. You are not just hearing it, you are it. Each note is a gentle pulse in your chest, a ripple through your fingertips, a tide flowing through your veins. The edges of your body seem to dissolve, as though the water has quietly claimed you, making no distinction between where you end and it begins. Memories begin to stir, not your own, but ones carried in those sin's vast memory. You see storms that raged centuries ago, waves that rose like mountains, sunlight piercing the deep in shimmering pillars. You feel the slow migration of whales across the ages, their low calls vibrating through the marrow of the sea. You sense the quiet work of coral, building worlds one grain at a time. All of this, a living history, flows through you as easily as a current through water. The ribbon-like creatures drift closer. One brushes your arm with the barest touch, and in that instant, the violet glow intensifies, pouring warmth through you. There is no fear, no urgency, only a profound sense of belonging. You are no longer a visitor here, you are part of the tide, part of the song, part of the endless heartbeat that has existed since the first waters touched the earth. Time loses all meaning. You could remain suspended here forever, in the soft embrace of light and music. And perhaps you do, for a moment, or for 1,000 years, it's impossible to say. But then, a subtle shift in the melody draws your attention. A new note, low and resonant, enters the song, and with it comes a gentle pull. It is not the tide carrying you this time, it is something deeper, calling you onward. Somewhere beyond this chamber, the ocean has more to show you. The call from below, hola círculo azul grande. The note grows stronger, richer, as if it carries not just sound, but weight. You feel it in the base of your spine, a slow vibration that spreads upward like warm water rising around you. The violet light of the chamber dims slightly, as though it knows your attention has shifted elsewhere. The great bloom of anemones continues to sway, their song still gentle, but now it feels like a background harmony, the main melody is coming from far below. You look downward, and for the first time, you notice the chamber's floor is not solid. Between the curling anemone tendrils lies a deep opening, perfectly round, rimmed with pale stones that glow faintly in the gloom. The sound seems to pour from this opening, not in waves, but in a steady, unbroken hum, ancient and deliberate. It is the kind of sound that feels like it has always been there, waiting for someone to notice. You sense that few ever have. The ribbon-like creatures gather near the rim of the opening. They do not descend, but they circle slowly, as if guarding it, or perhaps honoring it. Their bodies pulse with faint blue light, matching the rhythm of the call. You drift closer, feeling an almost magnetic pull. The moment your fingers brush the glowing stones, a ripple of warmth moves through your body, and a vision blooms in your mind. A spiral of darkness, stretching downward through the deep, each turn lined with ancient carvings of creatures both familiar and unknown. And at the very bottom, a single point of light, so bright it could be a star, pulsing in time with the call. The hum deepens, and you feel the pull intensify. It is not a demand, but an invitation, one that is impossible to ignore. Somewhere far below, something is waiting. Something that has been waiting far longer than you have been alive. With a slow breath, you place both hands on the glowing stones, and the current shifts. The chamber's water begins to spiral, drawing you toward the opening. The spiral descends la bola de cristal. The current wraps around you like a silken ribbon, guiding rather than forcing. The opening in the chamber floor widens as you draw nearer, the pale stones at its rim glowing brighter, as if sensing your choice. One last glance upward shows the violet light fading into a distant shimmer, like a dream already slipping away. Then, with a gentle tilt of your body, you let the current take you. At first, the descent is slow, almost like drifting through a warm evening breeze. The water here feels thicker, infused with a faint golden glow that clings to your skin. The spiral walls curve inward, and as you pass them, you see the carvings from your vision, ancient, deliberate shapes etched deep into the stone. Some may depict familiar creatures, whales, turtles, kelp forests. Others are stranger, beings with luminous eyes, flowing hair like seaweed, and hands outstretched toward the sky. The hum from below is clearer now, resonating through your chest as if it were your own heartbeat. It's joined by delicate overtones, crystalline notes that feel like threads weaving around you. The combination is hypnotic, pulling you deeper into a calm so complete that time dissolves entirely. Every few meters, you pass small alcoves cut into the spiral wall. Inside them rest glowing shells, coral fans, and objects that seem like artifacts, smooth stones with spiral engravings, fragments of glassy material that catch and bend the light in strange ways. The ribbon-like creatures do not follow you here, but you sense their presence above, watching. This journey is yours alone. The deeper you go, the more the water changes. The gold fades into a soft blue, then into a rich midnight shade. Yet it is never dark, the carvings on the walls glow faintly, and the light from far below is becoming sharper, steadier. Then you notice something extraordinary, the spiral itself is not still. It moves. The walls shift slowly, like the winding of a great shell, drawing you downward in a living current. You realize you are not merely in a passage, you are inside something vast, something alive. The hum deepens once again, vibrating in your bones, and you know the bottom is near. Whatever waits there is ancient, patient, and aware of your arrival. The heart of the spiral o la destellos. The spiral narrows as you approach its end, the walls now close enough for you to reach out and touch on either side. They are warm, impossibly warm, pulsing faintly beneath your fingertips, as though you are touching the skin of some enormous, sleeping being. The hum from below swells until it fills every corner of your mind. And then, without warning, the spiral opens. You emerge into an immense chamber, so vast you cannot see its walls. The water here is clearer than anything you've ever known, so pure it feels like liquid light. At the very center, suspended in the open space, is a sphere of blinding white gold radiance. It pulses in slow, steady intervals, and each pulse sends a wave of warmth and calm through the entire chamber. Around the sphere float hundreds, perhaps thousands, of small, glowing fragments. They look like shards of crystal or shell, each one catching the light and bending it into soft rainbows that drift lazily through the water. Some pieces drift close to you, and you feel a gentle tingle when they pass. As your eyes adjust, you see that the sphere is not just glowing, it is alive. Patterns ripple across its surface, shifting between geometric designs and flowing organic shapes. Sometimes it looks like coral, other times, like the surface of a star. And within it, you glimpse something moving, a shadow, slow and deliberate, as if turning to regard you. The hum becomes more than sound. Words, or something like words, form in your mind, not spoken, but placed there with exquisite care. You have come far. And you have been seen. The spirit's light brightens until the entire chamber glows. Every shard of crystal around it begins to move, swirling gently in patterns that seem purposeful, as though forming a language of motion. You do not feel fear, only the sense that you have reached the heart of something sacred, and that this moment is the reason you began this journey at all. You take one slow, deep breath, letting the water's warmth soak into you. The sphere pulses once more, and something begins to awaken. The voice beneath the waves o la bola de cristal. The light of the sphere softens, wrapping you in a glow that feels like a warm embrace. Your body is utterly still, yet inside your mind, something opens, a doorway into a space without distance or time. The hum deepens, and then, as if spoken directly into the core of your being, the voice returns. You carry the weight of the surface, it says. It slows your breath. It clouds your thoughts. But here, there is no weight. Only the flow. The words are not truly words, they are sensations, images, and feelings braided together. You see yourself standing on a shoreline long before this night, staring out at the horizon with questions you couldn't put into words. You feel the cold ache of unanswered longing, the pull to know something deeper than the noise of the world above. We have watched you, the voice continues, each syllable rolling through you like a tide. Few hear the call. Fewer still follow it. You have come not for answers, but for remembering. The sphere shifts. The patterns across its surface become ripples of ocean waves, then the spiral shell you descended through, then a map of constellations glimmering in a midnight sky. You understand without being told, these are not just symbols, but memories of this place and its connection to all that exists, from the deepest trench to the furthest star. The shards of crystal around the sphere begin to drift toward you, one by one. The first touches your palm, releasing a spark of sensation, the feeling of floating weightless under a full moon, the sound of whales singing in a distant Black Sea. Another shard brushes past your temple, filling your mind with an image of a great migration, not of fish or birds, but of glowing beings moving between realms. Each carries a memory, the voice says. You may take them, but you must also give. You realize that this is not simply a gift, it is an exchange. Something within you must be offered in return. The sphere pulses again, and suddenly, your thoughts are quiet enough for you to hear your own heartbeat, echoing like a drum in the chamber. The choice is before you. The offering via lactea ola. The spirit's light dims slightly, not in withdrawal, but in patient expectation. Around you, the crystal shards hover like a halo of frozen rain, each one waiting to be claimed. The voice, or perhaps the presence, remains silent now, as though it knows this choice must come from you alone. You close your eyes. In the stillness, memories rise like bubbles from deep within your mind. Some are joyful, laughter under the sun, the smell of rain on warm earth, the first time you touched the sea. Others are heavy, sleepless nights filled with restless thoughts, moments of loss you still carry, fears that grip the quiet edges of your mind. It comes to you suddenly, the gift you will offer is not an object, but a burden. You will give the weight you've carried for years, the tangled knot of doubt and exhaustion that has sat like a stone in your chest. You breathe in deeply, and as you exhale, you imagine that heaviness flowing from your body like dark smoke. It drifts through the water toward the sphere, not ugly or unwanted, but simply ready to be released. The moment it touches the light, the darkness dissolves, breaking apart into tiny motes that shimmer like stars before fading into nothing. The sphere pulses, once, twice, and the water around you brightens as though filled with dawn. The shards of crystal begin to spin slowly, drawing closer. One by one, they press gently against your skin, leaving behind threads of light that weave into your body. Each thread carries a feeling, a memory, a truth, the rhythm of the tides, the patience of coral, the song of migrating whales, the memory of starlight falling on a calm sea. When the last shard touches you, it does not drift away. It remains, lodged gently in your heart. And there, it begins to glow. The voice returns, soft as a whisper across a calm bay. You have given, and so you may receive. You are now of the deep, and the deep is of you. You open your eyes, and the chamber seems different, not because it has changed, but because you are seeing it through new sight. The colors are richer, the light warmer, and somewhere beyond the far edges of this place, you sense a path opening. The path of currents o la destellos. The glow within your chest doesn't fade, if anything, it deepens, pulsing in rhythm with your heartbeat. The chamber feels alive now, the walls shimmering like they are woven from flowing water instead of solid stone. You glance toward the spiral shell you once descended through, but it is no longer there. In its place, a stream of pure light winds away into the unknown, curling like a silver ribbon. The sphere drifts back, slowly folding its crystalline shards into itself until it becomes a single, perfect point of light. It hovers for a moment, as if watching you, then slips into the stream ahead. The current of light stirs the water, brushing against your skin with a sensation that is both inviting and urgent. You step forward. The moment your foot touches the stream, the ground beneath you vanishes. There is no falling, only movement, smooth and endless, like being carried in the arms of a gentle tide. The light surrounds you, not blinding but illuminating everything in soft, moonlit tones. Shapes begin to appear within the current, silhouettes of immense, graceful creatures gliding alongside you. Some may resemble whales with luminous markings, others are unlike anything from the surface world, lone, serpent-like beings with fins that shimmer like crystal, and smaller, spiral-shelled forms leaving trails of light behind them. The current curves sharply, and you emerge into an open space, a vast expanse that feels like both ocean and sky. The water here is so clear it could be air, and yet your body moves as if swimming in a dream. Stars hang above, yet they also shimmer below, as though the whole world has become a reflection of itself. You feel the pull of something ahead. Far in the distance, on the horizon of this endless expanse, a faint blue glow beckons you. The voice speaks again, not in words, but in the pure, instinctive certainty that this is where you must go. The current begins to quicken, carrying you toward that glow. The heart of the deep, llegar corazón azul. The current slows as you approach the distant glow, allowing you to drift forward under your own power. The water here is warmer, carrying a gentle hum that seems to come from every direction at once. It's not just sound, it's a vibration, a resonance that seeps into your bones and settles deep inside you, making your heartbeat align with its rhythm. The blue light swells until it becomes an entire world before you. It is not a single object but an enormous living structure, a city, perhaps, if cities could grow like coral. Towering spirals of bioluminescent stone rise from the seafloor, each one veined with rivers of light. Delicate bridges of glowing material connect the towers, swaying gently as if they breathe. The architecture feels ancient and organic, yet impossibly advanced, like it was shaped by hands that understood both the laws of the ocean and the dreams of the stars. As you glide closer, you see that the light isn't just from the structures, it's alive. Thousands of tiny, luminous beings drift through the streets and open spaces, each one leaving behind a faint ribbon of color that weaves into the greater glow. So many of them notice you and draw near, their forms flickering between shapes, a small fish, a drifting jelly, a spiral of pure light. They circle you briefly, then dart away, leaving warmth in their wake. At the center of this radiant city rises the tallest spire, its tip lost in the endless water above. From its heart radiates a deeper, richer blue, a color so pure you can feel it, as though it speaks directly to something ancient within you. The sphere that guided you here hovers ahead, pausing at the base of the spire. For the first time, you notice a great doorway, framed by flowing patterns of light. The voice returns, low, steady, and almost reverent. You stand before the heart. Few are called, few are still arrive. Beyond this threshold lies the memory of the ocean itself. The doorway begins to open, not with hinges, but like a ripple spreading across the surface of water. Beyond it is only darkness, yet it's a darkness that feels alive, waiting. You take one slow breath and prepare to enter. The heart of the deep, llegar corazón azul. The current slows as you approach the distant glow, allowing you to drift forward under your own power. The water here is warmer, carrying a gentle hum that seems to come from every direction at once. It's not just sound, it's a vibration, a resonance that seeps into your bones and settles deep inside you, making your heartbeat align with its rhythm. The blue light swells until it becomes an entire world before you. It is not a single object but an enormous living structure, a city, perhaps, if cities could grow like coral. Towering spirals of bioluminescent stone rise from the seafloor, each one veined with rivers of light. Delicate bridges of glowing material connect the towers, swaying gently as if they breathe. The architecture feels ancient and organic, yet impossibly advanced, like it was shaped by hands that understood both the laws of the ocean and the dreams of the stars. As you glide closer, you see that the light isn't just from the structures, it's alive. Thousands of tiny, luminous beings drift through the streets and open spaces, each one leaving behind a faint ribbon of color that weaves into the greater glow. So many of them notice you and draw near, their forms flickering between shapes, a small fish, a drifting jelly, a spiral of pure light. They circle you briefly, then dart away, leaving warmth in their wake. At the center of this radiant city rises the tallest spire, its tip lost in the endless water above. From its heart radiates a deeper, richer blue, a color so pure you can feel it, as though it speaks directly to something ancient within you. The sphere that guided you here hovers ahead, pausing at the base of the spire. For the first time, you notice a great doorway, framed by flowing patterns of light. The voice returns, low, steady, and almost reverent. You stand before the heart. Few are called, fewer still arrive. Beyond this threshold lies the memory of the ocean itself. The doorway begins to open, not with hinges, but like a ripple spreading across the surface of water. Beyond it is only darkness, yet it's a darkness that feels alive, waiting. You take one slow breath and prepare to enter. The golden current destello sola. You drift toward the golden light, the water around you changing in a way you can't quite describe. It's as if the ocean has shifted its very essence, from the cool calm of the deep to something warmer, almost like sunlight made liquid. The glow intensifies, swirling into a slow-moving spiral that draws you in without force, only invitation. As you move closer, you notice the light isn't a single source. It's made of countless golden particles, each the size of a grain of sand, drifting together in a great, unbroken stream. This is no ordinary current. It doesn't move with the push and pull of tides, it moves with purpose. You feel it brushing against your skin, leaving a faint tingle, as if every particle carries a memory, a whisper, a tiny fragment of thought. You let yourself be carried into the spiral. The golden particles swirl faster, wrapping around you in rings of shimmering light. Within the glow, shapes begin to emerge, not from the past, but from possibilities. You see visions of ships that have yet to be built, islands that have yet to rise from the sea, creatures that will one day swim through these waters. You see people, faces you don't recognize, laughing, crying, searching. And you see yourself, drifting here, your hands outstretched towards something just out of reach. Then, for a single moment, the current slows, and a golden shape rises before you. It is not a creature, not exactly, but a presence, a luminous silhouette shaped like flowing water. It leans close, and though it has no mouth, you hear it speak. The golden current is the future style. It carries the dreams of what may be. But the future is fragile, and it listens to those who know its song. As the words fade, a single golden particle detaches from the current and drifts into your palm. It pulses with gentle warmth, and you somehow know this is a key. A key to a place, or a time, you have not yet seen. The spiral begins to dissolve, and the golden light flows away into the darkness, leaving you alone once more, except for the faint, steady glow in your hand. Ahead, another doorway of light appears, this one brighter, shimmering like the surface of the sea at dawn. A horizon that doente and amanecer hola. You move toward the shimmering doorway, the golden key in your hand glowing softly, almost guiding your movements. The water around you grows lighter, brighter, until it feels less like you're swimming and more like jewelry rising through layers of sunlight. And then, without warning, you break through. There is no splash, no sudden gasp for air, only a seamless transition from water to sky. You find yourself standing, not floating, on a surface that looks like the sea, yet feels solid beneath your feet. The horizon stretches endlessly in all directions, but something about it is wrong. No matter which way you turn, the line between sea and sky is perfectly straight. Unbending, infinite. The air here is unlike anything you've breathed before, fresh, but laced with a subtle, sweet fragrance. The light is golden, not from a single sun, but from countless shimmering points above, like stars caught halfway between day and night. You take a step forward, and ripples spread across the surface, though you feel no wetness. Each ripple reflects not your face, but moments from your journey, fragments of the deep ocean city, the glowing memories, the golden current. It's as if this place remembers everything you've seen, and plays it back in the water's skin. Then you notice something else. On the horizon, far in the distance, there is a single, towering shape. It's hard to tell what it is, perhaps a pillar, or a spire, or even a column of light, but you know instantly that it's where you're meant to go. The golden key in your hand grows warmer, and the horizon itself seems to shift, subtly bending, as if urging you forward. As you walk, the world around you changes. The sea beneath your feet grows more transparent, revealing shadowy movements far below, giant shapes gliding silently, watching you from a depth that shouldn't they exist here. The sky above seems closer now, its stars larger, brighter, almost within reach. Somewhere, in the whispering wind that drifts across this impossible ocean, you hear the voice again. The horizon is not where the world ends, it is where all journeys meet. The towering shape ahead flickers, as though aware of your approach. The living spire via láctea ola. You walk for what feels like both minutes and centuries, the golden key glowing steadily in your hand, until the towering shape on the horizon begins to sharpen into focus. At first, you think it's a pillar of crystal, smooth and shimmering. But the closer you get, the more you realize, it's breathing. The spire rises from the horizon like the trunk of an enormous, otherworldly tree, its surface alive with slow, pulsing movement. It's not stone, not wood, its texture is like woven strands of glowing kelp, spiraling upward in patterns that shift with the rhythm of a heartbeat. The trunk disappears into the low-hanging sky, where its top vanishes into the golden haze. As you draw near, you see that its surface is covered in small openings, each exhaling a faint, sweet-scented mist. The air here is warmer, richer, carrying a sound you can barely make out, a low hum, deep and resonant, as if the spire itself is singing to the horizon. You place your hand against it. Immediately, the golden key in your palm flares brightly, and the living spire responds. The strands beneath your hand separate slightly, revealing an inner glow, soft, fluid, and full of movement, like a glimpse into the heart of the ocean itself. Inside the opening, you see shapes drifting, fish made of light, coral that glows like embers, and what appear to be fragments of memories, suspended in the current. It's as if this living spire is both a structure and a vessel, a keeper of futures, a recorder of dreams. Then, the hum deepens, and a voice, clearer now, speaks not into your ears, but directly into your mind. The key you carry was born here, from my currents. I am the root of horizons, the anchor between seas and skies. If you wish to pass, you must give me something in return, something only you can surrender. You don't know yet what it means. But the golden key grows warmer still, urging you to decide. Beyond the opening, you glimpse a spiraling pathway leading upward inside the spire, glowing faintly, waiting for you. The offering o la via láctea. The living spire breathes slowly, its woven strands shifting just enough to allow the golden glow within to spill over your hands. The voice, calm, resonant, and ancient, lingers in your mind like the echo of a tide that has been flowing since before time began. Something only you can surrender. You stand still, feeling the subtle vibration beneath your feet. This place is neither land nor sea, neither dream nor waking world, yet it seems to know you better than you know yourself. At first, you think of giving away a possession, something from your pockets, a fragment from your journey. But you sense instantly that this is not what the root of horizons asks for. This offering must be something deeper. You close your eyes. Memories begin to drift to the surface of your thoughts, the gentle sway of the kelp forest, the glow of the current that carried you, the laughter of voices long gone, the warmth of a night sky from your childhood. And then, one memory comes forward with clarity so sharp, it takes your breath. A moment of pure fear, the time you almost turned back, doubting yourself. That fear, you realize, has traveled with you all this way, whispering in the dark corners of your mind. You understand now. To climb the spire, you must release what has been holding you to the ground. You take a slow breath, and with your free hand, you press your palm to the living strands. I give you my fire, you whisper, not aloud, but into the hum itself. The moment you do, the golden key flashes brilliantly, and the spire responds. The strands unfurl, wrapping gently around your wrist, not as a trap, but as a welcome. The hum deepens into a note so warm it feels like sunlight on your skin. Your fear drifts away, literally, rising like a silver mist into the air, dissolving into the horizon. You feel lighter. Caer. Almost as if gravity itself has loosened its hold. The opening widens, revealing the spiraling pathway fully now, lit by a series of glowing steps that lead upward into the golden haze. You step inside. The air is warmer here, and each step seems to lift you higher with less effort than the last. Somewhere above, a brighter light awaits. The midway garden Déjate, llevar. You ascend the glowing steps, the hum of the spire resonating through your bones. Each breath feels lighter, each heartbeat slower, as though the climb is not tiring you but restoring you. The golden key rests quietly in your palm now, its urgent glow softened to a steady warmth, as if it knows the most difficult part has passed. After what feels like both minutes and hours, the spiral opens into a vast chamber halfway up the spire. You stop in the doorway, eyes widening. It is a garden, floating, layered, and alive. Clusters of luminous plants drift gently in the air, their roots suspended in glowing streams that run along invisible channels. Flowers the size of your hands open and close like breathing lungs, releasing soft clouds of fragrant mist. Between them, small creatures move gracefully, some with wings made of liquid light, others like tiny drifting stars that leave trails of silver as they swim through the air. The sound here is not the low hum of the speediest roots, but a softer melody, something like chimes underwater. In the center of the chamber, a figure waits. At first, you think it's a person, but as you approach, you realize it's a being made entirely of woven strands, just like the spire itself. Its skin glows with shifting patterns, and its eyes are deep pools of slow-moving light. It tilts its head, studying you. You have shed your fear, the figure says, its voice a harmony of many tones. But to reach the crown, you must carry something new. It gestures toward the garden, and several glowing seeds drift toward you, floating in the air. Choose one. It will shape the rest of your journey. You reach out. Each seed pulses with a different rhythm, one feels steady and grounding, another quick and sparking, and the last, warm and endlessly calm. Whichever you choose, you know, will become a part of you. You extend your hand. The seed of choice Déjate brote. The seeds hover before you, spinning slowly in the golden air. The first glows with a deep, steady blue, its rhythm slow and powerful, like the pull of an ancient tide. You sense it could give you unmatched strength, the ability to endure anything. The second flashes with bright silver sparks, each pulse sharp and quick. Holding it would mean agility, not just of movement, but of thought. You imagine your mind sharpening, your steps becoming light as starlight. The third radiates a soft amber light, its warmth seeping into your skin even without touching it. It carries the weightless peace of a summer afternoon, the endless calm of a still ocean. You close your eyes and let your breath match the hum of the spire. Without overthinking, you reach forward and cup the one that calls to you most. The moment your fingers close around it, the seed dissolves, not falling, not breaking, but flowing into you like warm water. It spreads through your veins as light, threading itself into your heart. You feel the change immediately. Your steps are shorter. Your mind is clearer. Your breath flows easier. The woven figure watches you, its patterns shifting in approval. Now the spire will open fully to you, it says, and points toward a narrow passage curling upward. The garden fades behind you as you climb again. Distime, the golden steps feel alive beneath your feet, lifting you as though eager to carry you to the top. Far above, through the woven walls, you see flashes of the sky, no longer the deep twilight you entered in, but bright with threads of dawn. The closer you get, the more the hum changes, until it becomes something almost like a song. You realize with a start that the spire is singing to welcome you. The crown of the spire, amanecer destellos. The spiral narrows until it becomes a tunnel of pure gold light. Your footsteps echo softly, yet the sound blends into the melody the spire is singing. The air grows warmer, carrying a scent like sunlit rain. You feel the seed you chose still pulsing inside you, its energy guiding your every step. And then, you emerge. The crown of the spire is not a platform, not a chamber, but a vast open space suspended in the sky. The woven threads form gentle arcs around you, like the ribs of a giant shell, each one glowing with its own hue. Between them, the sky stretches in all directions, an ocean of clouds tinged with gold and rose from the first light of dawn. Beneath you, the world is a patchwork of forests, rivers, and shining lakes. Above, the stars have not yet faded, and you see both day and night in the same breath. It feels like standing at the seam of two worlds. In the center of the crown floats a great sphere made of the same woven light, yet far brighter. It rotates slowly, and with every turn, glimpses of distant places shimmer across its surface, mountains under starlight, coral gardens deep beneath the sea, glowing cities that hover in the air. The woven figure from the garden steps beside you, though you never saw it follow. This is the loom of horizons, it says softly. Every thread here is a path. Some you have walked. Others are waiting for you. You feel a quiet tug, as though one of those glowing threads is pulling gently at your heart, inviting you to step forward. The figure's voice becomes a whisper. You may weave your own ending, or follow one already begun. You take a deep breath, and the horizon tilts toward you. The first thread, Via Láctea. You reach out toward the thread that tugs most gently at your heart. It shimmers with a soft, opalescent glow, pale gold one moment, deep violet the next. The instant your fingertips brush it, warmth flows up your arm, and you hear the faintest sound, like a memory you've almost forgotten. The thread thickens under your touch, becoming a path wide enough for you to step onto. It feels alive, firm, yet softly pulsing as if carrying a heartbeat of its own. The world beneath you blurs away, leaving only the sky and the infinite stretch of this glowing road. Each step forward causes the scenery around you to shift. First, there is only cloud and light. Then, faint outlines form, shadows of people, places, and moments you don't yet recognize. You realize you're walking through possibility itself. Ahead, the thread dips downward, and you find yourself descending into a landscape unlike any you've known, rolling fields of glassy flowers that chime when touched by the wind, rivers of molten silver reflecting both the sun and the stars, and far in the distance, a tower that looks, almost like the spire you left behind, yet not the same. The woven figure's voice drifts to you as if carried on the wind. Every thread leads to another world. Some will mirror what you've known. Others will take you far from all you've imagined. This one is yours now, walk until it shows you why it called to you. The pull in your chest grows stronger. The tower in the distance gleams brighter, and you know, something waits for you there. You quicken your pace. The Tower of Reflection, Castillo Europeo Destellos. The journey along the glowing thread feels timeless, no sunrise, no sunset, just a shifting sky that bends between day and night like a gentle tide. The tower ahead grows taller with each step, its mirrored walls catching every hue of the world around it. From a distance, it gleamed like silver. Up close, you realize it is not made of stone or metal, but of a living surface that ripples at the touch of the wind. You pause at the base of the tower. Instead of a door, there is an archway of woven light. Within it, you see only a haze, but when you lean closer, shapes begin to form, first your reflection, then dozens of other versions of you, each standing in a different place, under alien skies, by roaring seas, deep within forests lit by blue fireflies. Stepping through feels instinctive. The moment you cross the threshold, the air inside shifts, warm, scented with rain and something faintly floral. The mirrored walls stretch upward in a spiral, reflecting not just your body, but your thoughts. You watch them drift past you in glimmers, moments you've lived, choices you've made, paths you've left behind. At the center of the room stands a figure, motionless yet glowing faintly. Their form is made entirely of threads like the one you followed, each one shimmering in its own color. As you approach, the figure lifts its head and you realize, its face is yours. I am the you who walked this path before, it says softly. I left the thread open so you could follow. Now, you must decide, will you weave the same pattern, or something entirely new? The mirrored tower waits for your answer, holding every possibility in its walls. The choice via lactea. The figure, your reflection in thread and light, steps closer, the air between you humming like the moment before a storm. Their eyes, though identical to yours, seem older, deeper, as if they carried centuries of decisions within them. Every world begins with a single choice, they say, their voice layered, as though speaking from countless realities at once. Here, you may return to the life you left behind, or you may step into a new weave entirely, one without a map. You glance around. The mirrored walls no longer show your past alone, they now shimmer with fragments of possible futures. In one, you're walking through a forest of luminous trees. In another, you're floating above an ocean so vast it curves into the stars. Some visions feel gentle and warm, others sharp and untamed. The figure extends two threads toward you. One is familiar, the same golden violet strand you followed here. It promises safety, continuity, and the comfort of known paths. The other is shifting, changing color with each heartbeat, emerald, silver, crimson, colors you've never seen before. It carries a faint thrill, a whisper of the unknown. The tower is silent except for the soft rustle of the threads. Your fingertips hover between them, feeling their energies. You understand now, this isn't just a choice between two roads. It's a choice between who you have been, and who you are willing to become. The moment you close your hand around one, the tower will dissolve, and your new world will begin. The new is símbolo de luna creciente destellos. Your fingers curl slowly around the thread. The moment you touch it fully, a warmth spreads from your palm through your chest, as if the thread is not just a path, but a pulse, a living current. The tower around you trembles, not in fear, but in release. The mirrored walls shimmer one last time, then melt into waves of soft light that rise and swirl like drifting clouds. The figure, your other self, smiles gently. The pattern is yours now, they whisper, their voice already fading into the wind. May you dream it well. The light enfolds you completely. You feel your body growing lighter, as though you are no longer walking, but floating. The air is warm and scented with something faint and sweet, like the memory of a flower you once loved. The hum of the thread slows until it matches your own heartbeat, and then softer still, until it is simply silence. When the glow fades, you are lying in a vast field beneath a night sky that is endless and kind. Stars drift slowly, almost lazily, as if they too are in no hurry. A gentle breeze moves through tall grass, carrying the sound of the ocean you once stood beside, the forest you once walked through, and voices you once loved. All of them are here, woven into the air. You close your eyes. The field is safe. The sky is wide. There is nothing left to seek tonight, only to rest, to breathe, and to let the weave of your new story carry you into dreams. And so, with a slow exhale, you drift away, into the soft embrace of sleep. Vía Láctea. A whisper beyond the dream, símbolo de luna creciente, destellos. As the soft embrace of sleep carries you deeper, a gentle whisper stirs at the edge of your consciousness, like the distant murmur of waves on a quiet shore. It is not a voice you recognize, yet it feels familiar, like a forgotten lullaby woven into your soul. You find yourself standing once more, not in the fields beneath the endless sky, but at the threshold of a new realm, a place where stars shimmer like droplets of light caught in a velvet night. The air hums softly, alive with possibilities yet to be discovered. The golden thread you once held pulses faintly in your hand, glowing softly as if inviting you forward. Though the journey you completed lingers in your heart, this new path promises mysteries untold, a chance to weave fresh stories from the fabric of dreams. You take a tentative step onto the thread, feeling it support and guide you as it did before. Around you, the universe unfolds, expanding and contracting in a rhythm that matches your breath. Every ending is but a beginning, the whisper says, wrapping around you like a comforting breeze. With that, you walk forward, into the infinite night, ready to discover what lies beyond the horizon of dreams. The infinite night, a journey deeper. Vía Láctea, símbolo de luna creciente. The golden thread beneath your feet vibrates softly, humming a tune that seems older than time itself. As you step forward, the stars above begin to swirl, weaving patterns that shimmer like a cosmic tapestry, alive and unfolding. The air is cool but not cold, filled with the scent of distant rain and the faint echo of waves breaking on unseen shores. You realize this is no ordinary night, it is an infinite night, a realm between worlds where time folds upon itself and possibilities stretch endlessly in all directions. As you walk deeper into this vastness, the stars above start to pulse in sync with your heartbeat. Each pulse opens a tiny window into another reality, a life you might have lived, a path you could take, a dream half remembered. You reach out, and the light from one window spills gently into your palm. In that light, you see a vision of a quiet forest bathed in moonlight, where the leaves whisper ancient secrets and the air hums with the songs of unseen creatures. You feel the pull of that place, a call to explore, to learn, to become part of something greater than yourself. Suddenly, the thread splits into countless paths, each one shimmering with its own unique color and sound. You stand at the crossroads, feeling the weight of choice settle softly but firmly within you. The journey never ends, the whisper returns, gentle and steady. Every step is both a farewell and a greeting. Every path is a story waiting to be told. With a deep breath, you select a path, one glowing with a calm, sapphire blue light, and step forward into the unknown, ready to weave the next chapter of your infinite story. The sapphire path, corazón azul, estrella fugaz. The sapphire path beneath your feet gleams softly, casting gentle light that reflects in your eyes like a calm sea under a moonlit sky. Each step you take is steady and sure, guided by the quiet glow that seems to pulse with a life of its own. Around you, the infinite night stretches endlessly, stars shimmer above and below, as if you are walking through a boundless ocean of light. The air is filled with a soothing hum, like a distant melody sung by the cosmos itself. As you journey along this serene trail, shapes begin to emerge from the darkness, trees with leaves made of shimmering crystal, flowers that glow with an inner light, and streams of silver water flowing without end. The landscape feels both magical and deeply familiar, like a memory from a dream you once had. You reach a clearing where the stars seem to gather, forming a delicate spiral that rises from the ground to the sky. At its center, A small pool of water reflects the entire cosmos, each ripple revealing scenes from past, present, and future. Kneeling by the pool, you dip your fingers into the cool water. The ripples expand outward, carrying images that shift and change, a child's laughter echoing through a forest, a calm ocean at dawn, a quiet night under endless stars. You feel a profound peace wash over you, as if the universe itself is speaking in gentle whispers. The voice returns, soft and inviting. In this place, you may rest, or choose to explore deeper still. The sapphire path is yours, as long as your heart desires. You close your eyes, letting the tranquility fill you. Here, in the infinite night, the journey is endless, and every step is a new beginning. The quiet echoes Déjate, llevar. Bathed in the gentle glow of the sapphire path, you rise from the pool, feeling a deep calm nestled within you. The stars above ripple softly, mirroring the serenity in your heart. Around you, the landscape hums quietly, leaves shimmering, streams singing an ancient lullaby, and distant lights twinkling like fireflies in a midnight garden. As you walk forward, your footsteps leave gentle echoes behind, soft whispers that blend seamlessly into the night. These echoes are not empty, they carry fragments of moments, feelings, and memories, stitched together like a delicate tapestry. The voice returns, a tender murmur carried on the breeze. Every sound here is a story, every silence a song. Listen closely, and you will hear the world breathing, the quiet echoes of life and dreams intertwined. Drawn by the gentle call, you follow a path lined with glowing petals that pulse softly beneath your feet. With each step, the echoes grow clearer, laughter from long ago, the rush of waves, the quiet hum of stars. The path leads you to a hidden glade, where ancient trees stand tall, their branches woven with light. Here, the echoes gather, swirling gently around you, inviting you to rest, reflect, and dream anew. The air is thick with peace, and for a moment, time seems to hold its breath. The final embrace Vía Láctea, símbolo de luna creciente. The glade wraps around you like a gentle embrace, every leaf shimmering with soft light, every breath of air filled with calm and quiet wonder. The echoes you followed now settle into a soothing chorus, a lullaby carried on the night wind that sings just for you. You sit beneath the ancient trees, feeling the pulse of the earth beneath you and the endless sky above. The stars seem to lean closer, their light warm and tender, as if blessing your journey. The voice, now a whisper woven with the fabric of dreams, speaks one last time. Here, between earth and sky, you are home. Your journey is both ending and beginning, woven into the infinite tapestry of night. Rest now, traveler, and let the quiet carry you into peace. As your eyes grow heavy, the world around you softens, the edges blurring into gentle waves of light and shadow. The stars fade into a soft glow, the breeze becomes a gentle sigh, and you drift into the deepest, most restful sleep, wrapped in the final embrace of the infinite night.